And I'm going to close out with these last verses, but why don't they tell you that it's going to be slaves in the kingdom of heaven? There's a lot of prophecies in the Old Testament concerning the kingdom of heaven, right? What's going to be happening in the kingdom of heaven, right? The hierarchy, the order, the structure. That's all prophesied in the Bible, bro. It's in the New Testament and the Old Testament, but you can really find those prophecies in the Old Testament. But if you let Christianity tell it, those prophecies are none and void. They just done away with. Now all of a sudden they're not going to come to pass. What about all the scriptures that talk about our enemies being subdued, bro? Yes, slavery is in the Bible. Not just slavery, the slavery that we went through, chattel slavery. I'm talking about in the kingdom of heaven. Everybody want to go to heaven, right? It's going to be slaves in the kingdom of heaven. Let's read it. This is Revelations chapter 13 and verse 10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. That's plain. You can't say I'm taking that out of context. You can't say I'm twisting the words of God. You can't say that's not in the Bible. You can't say I made that up. I am literally reading what the Bible's saying verbatim. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. The so-called white man led blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans into captivity. And guess what? According to the Bible, according to thus saith the Lord, they're going to go into captivity. Right? Now, how is that going to look? That should be your next question. How is it going to, because we ain't going to be wicked and unrighteous like them. We ain't going to be raping their men. Right? Ain't going to be no sodomy going on in the kingdom. Right? It's going to be righteous. But it's going to be rugged as well. Right? You're going to wish you never laid a finger on the children of Israel, man. The Most High is going to make y'all, listen, man, at that time, you're going to beg and plead for mercy and you're not going to get it. Though you sought after it carefully with tears. This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 10. And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls. The sons of the strangers. Who is the strangers, bro? Let's show you. Let's jump to Isaiah chapter 14, verse 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. This is in the Bible, bro. I'm reading the Bible. I didn't write this today. I didn't make this up. This was already written. This in the same Bible your pastor going to read tomorrow in church. He just not going to visit this verse. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel. So it was already prophesied that the Lord is going to choose the Israelites. All right? And set them in their own land, right? Not America. America isn't our homeland. This is not the motherland. This is not the end all be all. No. He's going to set us in our own land, the land of Israel, right? Which was stolen, right? The land that's being occupied by the Jewish Israeli who don't belong there, right? You got a Jewish man and a Palestinian fighting over a land that don't belong to neither one of them, right? I'm not screaming free Palestine, because don't neither one of y'all belong in that land. How you fighting over something that don't belong to you? That's like when my younger son, right, and my daughter fight over my laptop. How y'all fighting over my laptop? It don't belong to you or her. That's what's happening right now in the land of Israel. You got the Israelis and the Palestinians fighting over a land that don't belong to neither one of them. It's our land, right? The land of Israel belonged to us. Palestine was once called Judea. That's our land, right? That land belonged to the blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Let's continue. And the strangers shall be joined with them. So you see, it's a separation, right? He already made it known that he's choosing Israel. He's going to put Israel, the Israelites, in their own land. Now he's saying the strangers. So the strangers is not speaking about the Israelite Gentiles or the confusion of faith, or the Hellenistic Jews. No, it's talking about the actual strangers, the other. Forgive me, Salah, the other nations. So it said, and the strangers shall be joined with them and shall cleave to the house of Jacob. So it's going to come a day where you other nations are going to cleave to the house of Jacob, right? And that day, we will be the desirable people because we will be the ruling class. And that day, y'all going to want to love us, right? You're going to want to hear what we got to say. You're going to want to follow behind us. You're going to want us to teach y'all everything we know, all right? And the people shall take them. So we're going to take you other nations and bring them to their place, the land of Israel, and the house of Israel shall possess them. When you possess something, what does that mean? That means you have ownership of it. So we're going to own you other nations, right? We're going to have possession of you other nations. We're going to own you, yes, like property. You will be our property in that day, right? Like this Bible is my property. Like this phone is my property. Like this camera is my property. That bike is my property. This water is my property. I possess it. All you nations are going to be likened to all you nations are going to be likened to everything I just named. We're going to possess you. You're going to be our property. Right? In the land of the Lord for servants and for handmaids, and shall take them captives, who captives they were. It's the same thing that was just said in Revelation 13:10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. Isaiah is saying the same thing John said. And shall take them captives, who captives we were. Not only did the so-called white man have us as captives, right? The Africans had us as captives. The Arabics had us as captives. All these nations played and play a part in the demise of you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. They all getting rich off it. They all making a dollar off our people. That's why every store in a black and Latino neighborhood, it ain't owned by a black and Latino. It's owned by a foreigner. Think that's a coincidence? You think that's just a byproduct of niggas being lazy? No way, bro. No way. And they shall rule over their oppressors. So the day is coming where all those who oppress us, right? They like to lie and say, oh, we live in post-slavery times and nobody's being oppressed and you guys are rich now and you guys are this and that. No. The day is coming, we're going to rule over our oppressors, right? This is Isaiah chapter 60, verse 10. Now let's go back to Isaiah chapter 60 and verse 10, because I just showed y'all who the strangers were, right? Now, when I read it, you should have a better understanding of what's happening and why they're doing this. Remember, they should be servants and handmaids. Remember, we shall possess them in our land. The context of Isaiah 60, this is in the land of Israel, right? Let's pick up from verse 10. And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls. So the same way we built up America, you other nations are going to build up our kingdom, right? That shouldn't be far-fetched. If that's far-fetched, that's sad, bro. Definitely coming from you blacks and Latinos. That's sad, bro. The same way we built up America, the same way these other nations are going to build up the kingdom of heaven for the Israelites, for you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans. Not because I said it, because the Bible said it. And the sons of the strangers shall build up thy walls, and their kings shall minister unto thee. For in my wrath I smote thee, but in my favor have I had mercy on thee. So the Most High saying in his wrath, he put us in captivity, man. He gave the so-called white man power to take us down and to rule over us for over 500 years. It had to be the Most High. The white man is the weakest race. They're the weakest race of people on planet Earth. How the fuck they take down the strongest people? Because it was the will of God. Let's get that real quick, man. I'm gonna jump right back to this. Because y'all think I'm just making up stuff, right? Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men. So according to the scriptures, it's a ranking system, bro. It's levels, as we say, right? Shalom, good brother. It's levels. It's grades. Like when it comes to marijuana, regular weed will be the lowest grade of weed. When it comes to races of people, so-called white people will be the regular weed. They're the basis of men. And the scripture just said the Most High can set up the basis of men. The only reason why you so-called white people took us to slavery is because it was the will of God. We're stronger than y'all. We're smarter than y'all. We're faster than y'all. We're better than y'all at everything. And you know it. You know it. Y'all not better than us at nothing. Nothing. The Most High did that to show his power. He said, oh, you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans don't want to keep my word? I'm going to set up the basis of men, the lowest grade of people, and have him rule over. Right? Shalom, brother. Isaiah chapter 60, verse 11. Therefore thy gates shall be open continually, and they shall not be shut day nor night, that men shall bring unto thee the forces of the Gentiles, and their kings may be bought. So all of the riches of the kings of the world, all that gold, all that silver, all that livestock, right? Their women, their oil, their incense, whatever's of value they're going to bring to us. It's going to all belong to us. For the nation and kingdom that will not serve thee shall perish. Yea, those nations shall be utterly wasted. So any race of people, any nation of people that got a problem with serving the Israelites in the kingdom of heaven, that's what Yahushua was talking about, bro. They that I would not reign over them, bring them hither and slay before me. Because you know they don't want us to be over top of them. That's why they won't relinquish power to us. But the day is coming where they ain't going to have a choice, man. And with that, I'm going to give all praises to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushua. Hey, man. Death to Babylon. You hear me? Death to this kingdom, man. Palm Yasharala.